the nicer microfinance. I must confess to you, sir, it's not been easy like that for all entrepreneurs because it's not everybody that has gotten this knowledge. Not everybody has access to this internet. Not everybody has access to this information. But as much as I know you are trying and you've leveraged a lot with at least people have been able to benefit, but I still notable entrepreneurs who have not benefited entirely. And I must confess, is a laudable program. I must tell you the truth. It's very, very laudable. In as much as it's not easy paying back, because we know ease of doing business in Nigeria is not all about money alone, sir.
Well, you know, you answered the question just before I was going to ask it. And yeah, but again, we can always re-emphasize that aspect of it. Yes, not everyone goes through, not everyone has access to the internet, not everyone has knowledge. But beyond all that, you know, we have so many people who are skeptics. I can't believe this. You mean really you didn't have to know someone who knew someone and who had someone and had one other relationship somewhere?
Tell you I don't have a relation in what's it called? CBN, and I don't know anybody in NISL. I don't. From the first time I filled the form to all the interviews to the first day of the first tranche disbursement, I don't know anybody. I don't. It's just, I will just tell you the truth. I think your brand, your product, your business idea should speak for yourself. The push you give, whatever you do, speaks for you. Because I was all out for it. I wasn't willing to stop at any point. In short, I had this no giving up spirit. Even when people would tell me it will not happen. I've had people who told me, when I was a beneficiary, I sent SMS to people that I've gotten this thing, oh, do it. Everybody just say, Polly, you don't start, nothing, you won't get this money. People were just against me. I had to be showing my SMS to people like, I really got this money, trust me. It's just that it's paid into the account that is being needed, those equipment where I needed equipment, not directly to me. I'm seeing it in my NISAL account, I cannot touch. Like I describe it to people, it's like a corn in a glass for a fowl. You are seeing the corn, pecking the glass, but you cannot eat it because it's not meant for you. It's actually meant for a certain project, and it was channeled through that way. And I must confess to you, there wasn't anybody. I feel as if people need to believe this. I know you don't need to actually send your letters through somebody to get to someone to get to it. Just follow through the channel. Make sure the channel of what you're focusing on in your business is actually what you dream of, and stay put to it. Follow every due process. Submit unnecessary documents. Sometimes you might fill form, it might fail, but your non-follow-up, not following up your document properly, may actually make you not know that you are actually hanging. Because recently it happened to some certain entrepreneurs who didn't even know some certain forms they filled was just hanging. They thought it was that's pulled through. It was me that told them, if it is still on this same level, that means it has not pulled through. Because there are a lot of funds going around and people don't even know it's happening because they just believe it is government thing. They will give it to people who they know. I'm not in any position.
This is freebie for everyone who wants to access it. But more importantly, you raised something here. Yes, you went through the process, but you've also acknowledged that there's so many out there who still want to get through and they can't. And that's the question we'll put to the MD here with us. Why is it so difficult? Yes, you can mention that people need to have a business plan, they have to have a company, have knowledge. I can also say that there are so many who, you know, have satisfied that criteria, but they still can't get access. What are the challenges here?
I think the major challenge is the financing gap. You know that it's like there's a huge gap already before NASA came into play. Banks are not granting such type of credits. Nigeria has a population of over 200 million. SME alone, from the last statistics, over 40 million. So you can see that NASA alone cannot close the gap. Let me give you an instance. For the Tiger Credit Facility, that is very popular, I have over 9 million people looking for that loan. And I have to close the portal because more and more people are applying and the funding cannot match the demand. So we have to close the portal and say, okay, let's begin to clear the backlog. So it's supposed to be a collaborative effort, not only about NASA. There should be collaboration both on the federal government, state governments, and NASA. Because what NASA is doing now is actually an initiative of central bank. So the federal government should also come in to close the gap. State government should come. NGOs should come. Even foreign funds should come and close the gap. There's a huge gap already because banks, traditionally banks don't grant such type of loans. Conventional banks don't grant it. So the few institutions that grant are overwhelmed by the numbers. If I'm talking of agribusiness, I have over 300,000 people looking for the loan. The last statistic I took, if I need to get money to clear the agribusiness backlog, I'll be looking for about 20% of Nigerian budget. It is practically impossible. Where am I going to source the funds? From CBN or from profit after tax or banks? So all the institutions around providing the funding, both the bankers committee and central, I think they have played their part and they are getting overwhelmed. So there's need for complementary activities in that sector from state government. I know federal government is doing some work there, but state government are domiciled. NGOs are also not playing bigger role. Even we need to have foreign donors coming in to play in that sector because the gap in that sector is huge. If you look at statistics now, all the loans that have been granted, how do we even find maybe 1% of the loans to that SME sector? 99% of Nigerian loans go to big tickets from conventional banks. They don't look at ordinary person because there are no commercial gains there. If you give ordinary person money, loan, there is every tendency that loan will not come back. It will impact on their profitability. And those banks are set about to make money for shareholders, for the board, and so that people can get it to an investment. So other than that, they need to have incentive for those banks to begin to give loans to private sector. Yes, she can say we have done. I like her comments, Bimbola. Thank you for the kind feedback. The way we operate is that people apply via the portal. You don't need to know me because how will I do those numbers if you have to know me? And beyond that, we also ensure geographical spread. So don't feel that, okay, because Lagos has highest number of SME, they should take all the loans. No. We do it according to geographical region, also considering recognizing population as a factor. Those regions or states that have higher population, of course, may have slightly higher numbers. But those who don't have should be patient. The real challenge are around funding. And that's why I'm calling on other players to have a kind of leverage so that we come together, not only NMFB or NASA, but all other players from the federal government, state government, NGOs, international organizations should come together to close the gap in the SME finance.
All right, at this point, let's try to get another beneficiary. Anosike Valentine. He's director of Mac Cheese and Sons Global. He joins us via Zoom from Kuje. Anosike, thanks for being with us. And just go straight and give us your experience, if you can hear me.
Okay, thank you, Uncle Cyril. Good evening, Nigerians. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. The OLO program, it has been a great one to our company. In fact, when we applied for the credit facility, it was granted.
All right. It does look as if we're having some challenges linking up with Anosike, who's in Kuje, joining us via Zoom. We'll try and re-establish those links, and because it's important for us to hear. Okay, yeah, right, you're back. Just go ahead from where you left off.
Okay, so as I was saying, the credit facility actually helped us to secure some spaces for our products, and it also helped us to increase our market presence, penetrate some other areas which we were unable to cover, and also procure some machines. In fact, it has been a great one to both us and everybody around us, So we just want to thank the federal government for the loan, and we also encourage Nigerians to key into the program and to also be faithful when paying back the loan. The loan has been a great one.
Anosike, I'll still put the same question to you. Did you have to go through someone who knew someone in the establishment, or did you have to undertake some backhand stuff, behind the scenes maneuvers for you to access that loan?
No. We did not actually go through anyone. We just applied at their office, and to my greatest surprise, we were called upon. And when we were called to come to Smedan headquarters, they actually talked with us, and we gave them our assurance that everything is going to be paid back in due time. And as we speak, we've been able to pay back all.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we hope you can stay with us. If you can, we'll still return to you to ask one or two other issues here. But let's come to the DG of NDE. Now, what I see that while all this was going on, you were...
Yes. I wanted to,
Yes.
to really say one or two things concerning what my colleague has said. Yes, it is true that for applicants, not everyone who applies gets through, because there are rules and there are regulations. That brings me to the point of why we are collaborating with NISA. The NDE impacts training and ensures that whoever has gone that training must have acquired some skill in a particular vocation. And that is first. Then secondly, the NDE goes ahead to impact entrepreneurial skills into such person, to give that person a business training, to be able to write and come up with a bankable feasibility report, so that at whatever place you tender that feasibility report, it will be appraised and you could have an easy way to get the fund. So it is on that basis that we collaborate with NISA. Yes, it's true, funding is always a constraint.
Huge numbers who are looking out for, who are trying to access these facilities. There's no way it can go around, just like the MD of Nassau Microfinance Bank has said. What would you advise people who, I mean, the numbers won't stop. Everyone would still try to get out there and access these facilities. I mean, so it's tough to just tell someone and say, look, you know, just sit back because there aren't enough funds. What do you advise?
I think first, my first advice would be, to encourage state governments in particular, even local governments, and foundations, public-spirited individuals can partner NASA. They can do a matching fund, kind of arrangement, because, federal government, after all, the citizens of this country belong to states and local governments. So they also have to have a role, because a lot of these initiatives and policies come from the federal government, and most of these states do little or nothing. Particularly now, our major challenge is on, this insecurity, which has been largely traced to unemployment. Even the security votes that these governors spend regularly, part of it can be diverted into a matching fund to create job opportunities for our youth. And then, of course, even at the local government levels. And then, of course, we have the NGOs, and then public-spirited individuals. A lot of these, even politicians, that have so much funds to dispense during elections, they can also create, this kind of matching funds. And rather than merely funding political campaigns or thoughts and whatever, they could dedicate this kind of funds, because we need to actually be more creative around these issues, because we all have come to that painful conclusion that virtually most of this restiveness, the violence and the brigandage are traceable to the idle hands that we have. And largely, our population is said to be youth dominated. 65% of the Nigerian population are said to be youth. So they are agile, they are very, healthy, and so they need opportunities to actually, exhibit their skills, and then distract them from this, restiveness.
The governor, for instance, and it's a classic case that used to be told by the governor of Kebbi, particularly when it comes to agri, was that there was a time he invited youths of the party into the government house for a meeting, and they sent back message that they were busy in the farm harvesting their crops. Ordinarily, before now, they will be anxious to, in fact, more numbers than invited will have been at the government house, being turned back at the gates. But they are the ones now telling the governor that when they were free, they could come for that kind of a meeting. So I think a lot of our leaders, our elites, the politicians, and everyone needs to actually have a rethink. Most of these funds they dissipate endlessly could be dedicated to some kind of port that they could partner a lot of these, institutions to increase the funding available for these activities, and the multiplier effect will be so obvious for all to see. A lot of this violence and restiveness will go down once our youths have gainful access to dispense their energies. That's part of my advice, truly.
Well, while the government goes ahead to put in place these schemes as to grant easy access to finances for small businesses to grow, there are also other aspects, other things that the government is doing as well to ensure that there's a better life for the citizens generally. And one of them is the National Investment Program, which is aimed at social inclusion and economic growth. This next report by Ruth Agwele takes a look at that.
With a growing population of an estimated 200 million, the burden of ensuring a more equitable distribution of resources to vulnerable groups in the country